Good. Let's get this show popping. Okay. So now Kanye West coming up with some new shit. Beefing with the family, the Kardashians. So his latest rant, he's beefing with the Kardashians about where his children attend school. So he wants his children to go to his academy, which is Donda West, named after his mother. So he's going on his rants and showing his back and forth with Kim. He's on Instagram saying, "My kids are going to Donda. They're not going to Sierra Canyon. Charmaine the God and Chris, get your motherfucking popcorn." Okay, that's random, bringing up Charmaine, but okay. And then he shared a couple of texts between him and Kim. Now, this is funny as fuck, but okay. He says, Kim was begging him to please stop going on social media speaking on personal matters. So Kanye responded saying, "No, we need to talk in person. You don't have a say so of where the kids go to school. Why you get to say so? Cause you half right, white." Okay. First of all, why is this nigga referring to Kim as half white? Like, Armenian people are still white. And it's just getting more and more funnier. He's pulling the whole race card thing because he can't get what he wants. And okay, so Kim relayed a message to him from her mother. So Kanye is like going on and on ranting, and then he brought up how his daughters are not going to be on Playboy nor have sex tapes like Kim nor Kylie. And so Kim showed the message, what her mother said, where Chris is begging him to please stop mentioning her name, saying how she's almost 67 years old and I don't always feel great, and this stresses me to no end. And he's saying how Hollywood is a giant brothel. Pornography destroyed my family. I dealt with addiction. Instagram promotes it. Now, what's so funny about what he's saying right now? Dude, when you were with Kim, you didn't have no fucking issue of her having a sex tape nor being on the cover of Playboy. That's what attracted you to her. Okay? And she was all these things you're complaining about, but now that you're not with her anymore, now it's become an issue. Now, do I agree Kris Jenner is a pimp? Yeah, she's a pimp. Okay? And all of the things that Kanye's complaining about, he knew what he signed up for. He knew what that family was about. No one put a gun in his head to wife Kim, have 4 children by her. You did that willingly, okay? And not only that, you want to talk about Chris like you're any better. Like, dude, you exploited Kim. You had Kim naked during y'all video shoot for Bound 2, okay? You're like, it's like wrong messenger, okay? You exploit women, you treat them like objects, and you're complaining about it. You're complaining about what you signed up for. You were attracted to Kim, okay? You were obsessed with her sex tape, and you want to get up on that. And now it's a problem. You want to shame her after the fact. You knew how that family get down, and now you're a victim. And see, I really don't feel sorry for Kanye because again, Kanye just mad because Kim doesn't want him anymore. Let's be real, okay? And I find it hilarious how he likes to play the race card when it suits him because he's very self-serving. He really is. Like for instance, it's a lot of rants. But bear with me. Let's bring all of these rants. And then his response was, y'all don't have a say over my black children and where they go to school. They will not do Playboy and sex tapes. Tell your Clinton friends to come get me. I'm here. What does the Clintons have anything to do with anything? And then he said how until he's able to decide where the kids go to school, that it's not up to Calabasas nor Hulu, which keeping up with the Kardashians now on Hulu. It's not on E anymore. He said it's not up to them where my kids go to school. I won't stop until I have a say so on my kids, no matter what it legally takes. And he's and then keep referring to his black children. Sir, they're not just black, okay? You want to procreate with a white woman, so accept the fact that they're biracial. They're not just black, they're also white. Get over yourself, okay? If you wanted black children, you would have got with a black woman, okay? You wanted a white woman, so accept your children's identities, okay? They're black as well as white. So stop hollering about your black children and all this shit. Stop being pro-black when it suits you, okay? Because I really don't feel sorry for Kanye. He knew how that family was and want to complain about it. Only because Kim moved on and don't want him anymore. And honestly, I don't he's a misogynist to me. I didn't like how he treated Amber Rose. That's how he treats women. Like he'll date you and then afterwards discard you and talk shit and shame you for what he was attracted to in the first place. He was talking mad shit about Amber Rose. Talking about how he had to take a bunch of showers and shit like that. But dude, you dated her, so what does that say about you? And as far as his porn addiction goes, again, go get some help. Go get some help for your porn addiction. That's no one's issue but yours. And it just kills me how all of a sudden, right, he's so concerned about how his kids are being raised. Was it a concern when you were with Kim? Or do you just care now because you're no longer with Kim anymore? Seriously. And of course, he brought up Pete Davidson for getting his children's name tatted on his body, which is, I felt like that was weird in itself. It's too premature to do that, to have children's names tatted on your body. and you've only been dating Kim for like, I don't know, a year now. So that was kind of weird. And then Kanye referred to him as well as Tristan, which is Chloe's baby daddy, Scott Disick, as well as Travis Scott as cum donors, saying how they all need to stick together, calling my fellow donors, we in this together. It's random shit. So yeah, Kanye's just back on his bullshit as usual. And again, he needs to just shut the fuck up, deal with your matters in court. Because again, you knew how this family was. You knew all of that. Okay? Don't whine about it now. And he just want to control the situation. That's all that's about. He doesn't have Kim anymore, so he wants to find any reason to complain about something. That's all it is. Now, it's like this. Right message but wrong messenger. Like, you can't sit over here and act like you care about how girls are being treated because it's your daughter. Because again, you have no problem exploiting other people's daughters. You had no problem doing that. That's somebody's daughter. So again, would he care if he was still with Kim? Would he still be that concerned about what's going on with his daughters? What you're afraid, and that's what a lot of them dudes are when they have a daughter, right? They did a lot of bullshit towards women, and then the moment they have a daughter, they're in fear like the same thing's going to happen to their daughter, which I find it ironic. So again, all those women you mistreat, that is someone's daughter. Keep that in mind. Okay, so next story. Now, recently, Jay-Z has been speaking on criticism that he's been receiving on being seen as a capitalist. So this is what he said. I quote. He said, this is what he said, right? He said that being a capitalist, that's a term that they give to rich Black people, and that it's this equivalent of referring to someone as an N-word, a racial slur. And he said, before was the American dream. Pull yourself by the bootstraps and you can make yourself. You can make it in America. All these lies that America told us our whole life. And then when we start getting in and they try to lock us out of it, they start inventing words like, capitalist, things like that. Again, sir, capitalist is not a brand new term. People have been using that term for centuries, okay? And again, you are a part of that group. Don't get offended. It is what it is. You're a capitalist. You're a billionaire / millionaire, okay? So if you're part of that group, you are part of the system. Now, I have my own opinion about the whole system in itself. Personally, I don't think anyone needs to be hoarding wealth. I don't think anyone needs to be a quote unquote billionaire, especially when you have people that have no housing, starving, in poverty. I'm sorry, and having and these rich people, these wealthy people can do a lot more. They can end world hunger. No one needs that amount of money. And Jay-Z likes to quote Black Panthers, like the late Fred Hampton and all these people. But if he knew anything about what Fred Hampton represent, he would know that Black Panthers don't fuck with capitalism. Same thing with Malcolm X. Don't fuck with capitalism and have a negative opinion about it. Okay? The whole system in itself, you can be a billionaire slash millionaire and not exploit people in some capacity. Okay? That's how you get in the position that you are. Like, it never sit well with me where a select group of people can have all this money, regardless of your race, having all this amount of money while everybody else is struggling. Like, that's why I never fucked with the likes of Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk of the world, because it's like, you got all this wealth, okay? And a lot of these companies are fucking cheap as fuck. All this money you have, and you can't pay your workers a decent wage, really? Really, though. Because I feel like this, nobody should be starving, not having their basic necessities met. Like, it makes no sense. So Jay-Z should not be crying about being seen as a capitalist. I mean, that's what you are. Because you're part of the system. So instead of whining about it, enjoy your riches and own up to it. You are part of that system. Now, we have another story revolving around Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears. Okay, so they're being accused of child sex abuse, according to a lawsuit. Now, the backstory is they had a bunch of children, which is a sibling, two siblings, reenacting a molestation skit for Funny or Die. Now, Tiffany Haddish had a friendship with the children's mother, and the kids referred to her as Auntie. So during that time, the boy was 7 years old and the oldest was 14. So Tiffany lied to the children's mother, saying how the 7-year-old boy was just filming a Nickelodeon commercial. And so the mother, took her word for it and believed her. The mother didn't know that her child was going to be filmed in an inappropriate skit. She didn't know that till after the fact. So what's being described, the boy now, he is 15 years old and his sister is 22. They described how Ari Spears and Tiffany Haddish have them participate in a sexually suggestive video shoot without a parent present. Okay, and this is what it says. So, Tiffany, in the part of the skit, Tiffany portrayed the mother leaving her child with Ari Spears' character. And the skit was called In the Eyes of a Pedophile. And so, Ari's character was having the boy rub baby oil on him, and the child was like with their underwear on. And so just a lot of inappropriate things being shown on the video. And this is my thing. Like, I would never understand this, but not everything is meant to be funny. Like, I'm trying to figure out what's so funny or supposed to be comedic of having real children reenact a molestation. Like, what is the humor in that? Like, how is that funny? That's just crazy to me. And the boy, to this day, he's traumatized from it. Like, he has social issues. He doesn't have friends. He's terrified of the camera. And he doesn't trust being around adults. So that whole skit really traumatized him. And this is nothing new because they've been trying to sue for years. And the daughter, she's 22, she has custody of her brother because her mom developed mental issues from that whole ordeal. So the daughter, she filed on her own behalf since she's adult now on behalf of her brother as well. So they're suing. And that shit is just sick to me. And I'm so tired of these comedians getting in their feelings if we don't find certain things amusing. Like, if you have to be offensive, if you gotta go below the belt just to get a joke in, maybe you're not that funny. Real talk. That shit is so sick. And Tiffany Haddish, as of right now, she's in Greece while all this is going on. And personally, I never thought Tiffany Haddish was funny to me. I never as much as chuckle of any joke from her at all. So yeah, Speaking of comedians, Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle have been on tour with their comedy. So they've been making, the whole jokes with Will and situation. And so Chris Rock, and see, I'm not, you know what? Will was a bigger person to apologize to that motherfucker, but you know what? He really pushing it. He compared his slap, him getting slapped, to Nicole, which is OJ's wife that he allegedly killed, as the same. So he made a joke saying how the Oscars wanted him to host for next year. He said he turned it down, and they're asking him to host the Oscars would be like Nicole along the lines going back to a restaurant or some shit like that. And so of course, Nicole's sister called his ass out on social media when she found out about that joke. And yeah, so Chris is just a reckless person. And these comedians need to stop thinking they can get away with saying whatever they want. Because again, you're joking about shit that's not even amusing. Like, okay, for instance, he going in on Jada for her not having hair, but she's going through a condition. She had no choice but to shave her hair. You know what I mean? And then he making a joke about somebody being murdered. And there's people still living that miss her. And you're making jokes. And I'm not trying to condone what Will did, but you know what? Some motherfuckers deserve to get their ass smacked. And that's real talk. And I by no means condoning what Will did. But Chris is a reckless motherfucker. He is. And these comedians think they can just get away with saying whatever they want and try to pass this off as a joke. And you're not supposed to be offended by it. Like, you're supposed to just go along with it and not be offended. It's like, get over your fucking selves. You can say whatever the fuck you want, but there's consequences to the things you say and do. Nobody is obligated to like your jokes at all. Get over yourselves. Yes, you have the freedom of speech. All that means is you won't get thrown in jail for what you say. Doesn't mean from freedom of consequences. No one's obligated to like any of your jokes or find you amusing. If you have to be offensive just to get a joke in, you're not that funny. And I truly believe Jada curved his ass. Because he'd been doing this for years, going at Jada prior to that. And I just find it interesting. Like, he didn't make no jokes to Will. He was just solely going at Jada. So yeah, that dude is. I never thought Chris Rock was that funny to me. Like, he has funny moments, but his jokes are just played the fuck out to me. He another one I never thought that was remotely funny. I'm just being real. Same thing with Tiffany Haddish. That chick is so fucking overrated. I never as much as chuckle over a Tiffany Haddish joke. That shit gets over the fucking top. Like, she's not funny to me. Okay. So we covered that. So yeah, again, that shit Ari Spears and Tiffany Haddish got going on is sick as fuck. And I don't think you can ever joke about some shit like that, let alone have real children to reenact being molested. That will never be amusing. And I just think these comedians are just fucking lazy and they just try to be as offensive as possible just to get a joke in. But I will never find molestation funny, especially when you're coaching children to reenact it for a skit. No, I find it inappropriate and it's disgusting. So yeah, just wanted to speak on that. Until next time, peace.